Yo, 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 what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? Pattern watchers, what is good? Now, I didn't think we would get this activity now. But ladies and gentlemen, the question on everyone's mind is probably, why is Bitcoin dropping? Is it a surprise drop, ladies and gentlemen? This is the question. Mad love and respect again for passing through to the Traders Reality Live, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you managed to enjoy the stream earlier on today. I hope none of you went long earlier on. But I hope you managed to take something from the stream earlier on today, ladies and gentlemen, because we need to have a conversation. The tone is somewhat mellow right now, ladies and gentlemen, because Bitcoin has dropped. But are we going to see a further move to the downside? So, mad love and respect. If you are new, be sure to subscribe. Let's have a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay then, what is happening? Who's in the room tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Billy from Philly, what is good? What is good? Elijah, you don't need to be shivering, my friend. What is happening? Al Martinez, what is good? Crypto Mojo, John Gustafson, how you doing, bro? I hope you're well. It's been a while, my friend. LA, what is good? Pattern watchers in the room. Where are my pattern watchers at? Where are the pattern watchers? Yeah? Oh, Bojan and I do trade, my friend. If you listen carefully, you can kind of understand that I'm already in trades from the way I speak on the charts. This is my time to break down my price action. Okay? Can't have 1,500 people copying me. Ah, man. Not everyone shares the same risk, my brother. Not everyone shares the same risk. Just talking. Get yourself to the Patreon, bro. You want to see trades. Anyway, mad love and respect, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make some sense of what has been going on, okay? Now, earlier on today, guys, we see this move to the upside, okay? Bitcoin appeared to be having the traction to move higher, but we understood something, okay? If they were going to break out higher and there was any news from Mr. Powell, okay, then we would anticipate a move higher to come up into the ranges. But just look at what they did. They hit the ADR. Look how they respect the ADR. The ADR, ladies and gentlemen, is the average daily range. That's at most the highest point that price can travel for any given asset. Usually they like to stay within this ADR. Sometimes it goes above, sometimes it stays within it. But the significance of the ADR itself is, on average, how much can Bitcoin move in any direction? Now, earlier on today, ladies and gentlemen, concepts of the hybrid system have come true. Mr. Market Maker making his presence known. 1, 2, 3 hits to the high. Happy days. Okay? We also have the 50 EMA. Deviation away from the price. Okay? We know that one of the market makers that we brought up in the streams not so long ago, or quite a while ago, likes to use mean reversion as one of their simple strategies. And then they have other technical strategies as well, like more sophisticated in the sense of quantitative strategies. But mean reversion is one of the simple ones that they use. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this area here is balance. This area here is imbalance. And this is what we look for as traders. Okay? The 800 EMA yet again has acted as a resistance point. We know what Bitcoin's relationship is like at the 800 EMA, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see that right here. There have been many instances in Bitcoin where we've waited for it to break above or below the 800 EMA, and they always seem to come straight back into it. Look at that. They teased us with this behavior right here. Nice M structure right here, and then they move to the downside. Okay? More importantly, you've got this structure right here. Above the 800 EMA, they collapse it back down. How can we make sense of what's going on? Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, where has the money been? Where has the money been? That's the question. Well, let's go to the high block. Earlier on today in the stream, we were making an announcement saying that Bitcoin, the liquidity up in this area here, could they come up and take that zone? Look how many people went long. $46 million worth of longs in that area right there. $81 million worth of longs in that area right there. But unfortunately, there was $188 million worth of longs opened at 42,121. Again, I will say it. They don't care about price. Retail does. The only thing you hear people talking about with Bitcoin is price, nothing else. I think it will go to 60. I think it will go to 100. I think it will go to 10. I think it will go to 30. Irrelevant. Where's the money? How can we establish the money? And the money is in the charts as vectors. Funnily enough...
Could you say that again?
No, I can't say that again. Why does she do that? You know what? I keep getting interrupted by this Alexa, Siri, or whatever her name is. Mad days. Anyways, the vector candles. I've done a couple of videos in the channel. The last one was how to read vectors. That video would give you enough information to help you understand what these vectors are about. And look, it just comes into play. They come back into the previous zones of liquidity. So for the new guy, when price is rising to the upside, we know Mr. Market Maker is preparing his shorts. Come on, guys, it's obvious. Retail pays a premium. They buy at the highest point. They don't buy at the lowest point. Look at these guys down here. Look, $77 million worth of shorts have been opened in this zone. Another $81 million worth of shorts have been opened in this zone. Why is that a problem for us? Because look, it's a red vector candle. They've probably been liquidated already. They came up and spiked into the red vector candle zone. They have brought price back into the psychological ranges. Okay? Earlier on today in the streams, ladies and gentlemen, I was doing my hardest to make sure and trying to keep you aligned with your thoughts. Do not take any longs in these sort of scenarios. Most people were running for longs today. Okay? On the 3-minute time frame, we noticed something. Towards the end of the stream, we made the mention of the stopping volume candles. 1 and 2. That tells us something, gives us information. Stopping volume candles tell you that the market maker doesn't want price to be released too high up. Why? Because he's done the business in this zone. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, to make sense of this drop to the downside, we have to look at where they have landed. Okay? Bitcoin has now landed at the psychological ranges. Now, all we need to do is we need to ask ourselves, is there a reason why they've come back into this point? This zone, ladies and gentlemen, is an area where they had accumulated quite a bit of Bitcoin by making people believe that price is going lower. So this is what happens. Market maker buys at the lowest point. All right? We are in this structure, ladies and gentlemen, and it's still valid until it breaks below the structure. And that's 38,463. When Bitcoin or any asset comes back into the psychological ranges, they're coming back into the same base building that they started off with. They were building longs in this zone. They shifted out and started building their shorts at higher points while attacking previous traders to the left. Okay? They brought price back into the same spot that they had sold from. Cool. What do we need to see happening now? Well, this move is a little bit of a surprise when you think about it, in terms of the way the moving averages are structured. Look at it. The 50 EMA still looks like it's trading higher. The 5 and 13 haven't yet crossed over, so we may see a little bit of a relief, and price may come back up into this range. That all depends on what Asia decides to do. Now, looking at the Bookmap itself, ladies and gentlemen, we can see bright as day that there's lots of liquidity down here. At the same time, there's liquidity up here as well. So to make more sense of it, we need to zoom out. Now, this Bookmap, look at that. Absolute madness. No interest in these zones. Zooming out even more to understand where we are in terms of liquidity. It's like there's none there. It's like it's all been absorbed. Where's the liquidity at? Okay, now this is on Binance. If I flip over to 5 platforms, we're going to have a little bit of a clearer view of what to expect in terms of liquidity. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Where's the liquidity at? Always, guys, if you are new to cryptocurrency, or more so, you are new to trading cryptocurrency, get out the idea that you need to be focused on price. You need to be focused on what the candlesticks do around price, because the candlesticks are a reflection of people's opinion of price. You are pattern watchers. You're not interested in what someone has to say if they believe Bitcoin's going to go to 30K, to 20K, to 10K. It's irrelevant, okay? You are more interested in how much money is in that zone. How much liquidity is down here? Well, if we look at the high block itself, we do still see some more liquidity, ladies and gentlemen. So knowledge would say that we could be coming back into taking $129 million worth of liquidation points for the longs. We could also take $45 million worth. We could even take another 70 million, okay? But before it makes its way into that zone, they're going to make the same traders in this area pay the price. Look, these are 50x traders. Sorry, 100x traders right here. So at 40,900, they could snap price back up if they need to, and it's not too far. Look how close they were to liquidating them. We'll see a recovery of the candle, and then they'll come back down again and start working the ranges. Are we all is this making sense? Yeah? It must be. So, Tino, realistically, how will Bitcoin go up to 60K and how long? Irrelevant. It's not even above 45. Why would you be interested in 60K? Yeah? Why would it be above 60K? Why would you need to worry about 60K? 60K is too far away. Look at the damage they've done in this zone right here. Yeah? If Bitcoin gets to 30K, look, the way I see it, right? If this is the coin that everyone is trading, or in terms of institutional traders, big hedge fund managers, people around the world picking up Bitcoin, whales and what have you, okay? Do they really want it to go so cheap? What is cheap? Anything above 0 is expensive. You see what I'm saying? So what is expensive and what is cheap? It doesn't matter. It's ultimately what price are people prepared to pay. Okay? Now I've got this platform right here, ladies and gentlemen, which gives me a little bit more information about what is going on with Bitcoin. Okay? And I'm looking at this trade monitor right here, and I'm trying to factor in the idea of how much Bitcoin is being transacted at any particular point across any exchange. Okay? Towards the high up here, ladies and gentlemen, there was roughly about 35 Bitcoin that was sold at speed. Okay? And what I found was, okay, 35 Bitcoin, that's a lot of Bitcoin to sell, especially up here. But we know Mr. Market Maker operates in these zones. He sells at a premium. All right? Now the things across the board are showing. I mean, Coinbase earlier on, okay, there was an increase in the amount of sales whilst this move was happening. All right? In the hour of when I was watching it. This was roughly about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So it's like they were starting to drop things off. But at the same time, there was lots of buying coming in as well. So when you've got a fair distribution of buying and selling, it's happy days for the guys who are selling at the highest point. Which, ironically enough, people are buying at that point. Look at that. People are buying 46 million. It's by nature programmed to buy at these points. All right? So with this situation right now, ladies and gentlemen, get out of your eyes, or in your mind, get out of the idea of worrying about Bitcoin getting to 60k until we break key notable areas. This could be a nice little retrace, ladies and gentlemen. A retrace that we need. Go on to the higher time frames. What do we see? We've now come back into the 50 EMA, and we've got this liquidity down here that they may even try and realize. There's liquidity down there. Follow the money. That's where the liquidity resides. That's where Market Maker originally built his shorts from. Do you understand what's going on here? $118 million worth of longs were opened in this zone. You can't buy if no one is selling. That's the truth of the game. The more you focus on the relationship between how much is being brought in one point against how much is being sold at another, you're going to increase your edge in the game. I'm here to try and help you understand that edge. Try and apply it. Apply it as a scalper. Apply it as a swing trader. Position trader. Holder. However it works. Yeah? What is this guy? Who is this bre? I'll see you later, man. Anyways. So when you're trying to establish if Bitcoin is going to go higher or lower, ask yourself, in line of the hybrid system, how likely is Bitcoin going to recover or move towards previous zones? Okay? Look at how they've come back into this area here, the red vector candle. A clean break above that zone would see Bitcoin move higher. It didn't happen. Now, what's interesting to me, ladies and gentlemen, is this drop now hasn't come aggressively. It looks aggressive, but it really hasn't come aggressively. All right? Look at the tick volume. All right? The volume in these two candlesticks right here, the violet vectors, right? It tells you that volume is starting to rise. At the same time, it can imply that it may start to slow down. All right? The way you need to see price, ladies and gentlemen, is like this. When you look at it, don't look at what it's doing right now. If you're looking for a longer term aspect, okay, don't look at what it's doing right now. Look at what it has done, okay? And when I say look at what it has done, I'm not saying for you to look at it over here. No. I'm talking about the last few sessions, depending on the time frame you're trading. So if it's the 4-hour time frame, just look at what they've been doing in this zone. For every attempt higher, they've been coming back. Every attempt higher, they've come back down. We know that the 800 EMA will always be that problem on the 1 hour time frame, which is also the same thing on the 4 hour time frame, which is the 200 EMA. Any key notable areas is where they make their moves. Okay? Fast dumps bring fast pumps. Correct. Fast move is the false move. This is not a normal move. Have we had a solid break of the 50 EMA? Hey? Have we had a solid break of the 50 EMA? Answer me. Type 1 or 2. Do you think that this is a solid break of the 50 EMA? 1 for yes, 2 for no. How many of you believe that? Okay? How many of you believe that this is a solid drop? I will check the gold, my man. I will check gold for you. So 1 for yes, 2 for no. Okay. Most of you believe. All right, so most of you believe that it's not a solid drop. It's not broken the 50 with aggression. Well, look at the logic. This is the 50 EMA on the 4 hour time frame. Okay? The violet vector candle itself right here, ladies and gentlemen, as much as it was a big drop down, didn't even tap the 50. The next candle just followed through. If they were going to do it, they were going to do it with this candle. Because at this point in time, they were aggressively exchanging hands. People were getting longs, people were going short, and this is what was going on. This was the end result of it. They rejected the 200, but it's the 50 EMA that gives us the signal. It tells us what's going on. Now, this move does have room to try and eat into this zone right here, which means that if Bitcoin does break beyond this area right here, stick with me here now. If Bitcoin breaks beyond this area, we are looking for a clean break, because there are two things that could happen. Bitcoin could be forming 1, 2, 3 hits to the low. The only way that this structure is invalidated is if price breaks through this zone cleanly and finalizes around 37. Because at 37, they'll be breaking this structure right here and going into this little town of Wicks right here, which will take us to the 35 zone right there. Okay? So, if Bitcoin from now continues with its movement below the 50 EMA and doesn't show support in this zone, so I'm going to mark off the zone for you. This is the vector zone. Okay? This is where they last enticed traders to believe price was going lower, and they were able to mark up their shorts from that point and start taking profits on previous longs to the side of the chart. Okay? If the interest isn't present in that zone, ladies and gentlemen, then Bitcoin is more than likely going to try and run down lower. Okay? You want proof of the move. If this is a structure that's going to hold, this is the area it will hold in. If it breaks beyond this point, ladies and gentlemen, and Asia pulls a nice number on us tonight, and they do make a run for liquidity to the downside, there is every justification to do so. Now, if we just look at the picture overall, this is Bitcoin right now in terms of liquidations. Remember, they only want to run for the liquidity. Okay? Look at that. It's crazy, isn't it? Look at how many longs are currently in the chart. Yeah? At most, we had 16 billion. Currently, there's only 6. So it looks like there's lots of shorts coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the tab on the left. Now, remember, this is the assumed liquidations. As it stands, there's 728 longs, and there's 497 short liquidations. So there's more longs. The question you want to ask yourself is, how low can it go? We've got a structure here. We've got a vector candle which solidifies a justification for them to come lower. What are you going to use to justify your reasoning to see price going lower? Don't come here for signals, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to understand it for yourself. Because tomorrow I can stop this. Happy days. You'd have enough in the channel. But the decision will be on you. What are you here for? You know? You pay a signals provider to give you a signal. Don't you think in the back of your mind, well, why can't I understand how to do that? Why do I need to rely on my brother? You want to learn for yourself. To understand if Bitcoin's going to go lower, you drop to the lower time frames to see how the momentum develops. Look at this controlled move, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it. It's a controlled move. Okay? It can still remain a controlled move to the downside. We're back into the psychological ranges. As long as Bitcoin rejects the 50 and continues down, we will expect them to come into this range. Let's flip it on its head and see if Bitcoin comes up into this area. What would we need to see to solidify it coming back up? Because you want to know. You're going to come to the chart naturally and say, okay, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? This is the question you're going to ask yourself. And you won't know until you commit liquidity. You won't know until you pay to play. If you believe Bitcoin's going to go up, take the trade now and go long. That's what the logic would say. Because price has deviated away from the 50 EMA, happy days to the upside. You won't know if it's going to continue in that direction, but you know when there's money on the line. Why do you know if a trade is wrong? Because you're in a loss. Ahmed, you don't have to do that, brother. Thank you so much, my friend. And Milad, I know you tipped us at last time. Thank you so much, Milad. It's all about accountability, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to cater for scalpers, swing traders, holders, position traders, and the guys who've just got the diamond hands. Everyone's going to have a different opinion on what price can do next. If you believe Bitcoin's going to go up, cool. Try and ride the price movement to the 50 EMA. Happy days to the upside. You've seen it deviate away aggressively from the 50 EMA. Naturally, you want to see if it can come back into the daily open or test the 50 EMA. The more time it spends down here, the less likely it's going to come into the 50 because the 50 is going to travel into price because it's not moving from this zone. If you think it's going to go lower, look at the narrative. If you think it's going to go lower now, what will you be doing? You'll be selling at a discount. You'll be selling at a discount. You don't sell at a discount, you sell at a premium. Okay? The same thing that happened here is likely to happen in this zone. We've come back into the range. If we expect a recovery back into the 50, you want to see it recover aggressively into the 50 to convince it's going to continue up. But if it doesn't do that, ladies and gentlemen, there is a good chance that it may even come down lower to test the psychological low, even try and tease us with last week's low. And if we get into this category, or should I say into this section right here, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a little bit more of a concern about what to expect from Bitcoin. Okay? Understand what motives they would have to send it down lower, and you'll be improving the chances of understanding this game. Okay? Are we cool with that, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah? Let's have a look. But why is Monero so strong? I'll tell you what I've noticed is there are a lot of DEX platforms doing really well. Okay, there's been a lot happening with DEX platforms. And if I just bring this up right here, okay, and go to the dashboards, I'm going to understand something interesting. Check this out, guys. So if we look at DeFi winners today, all right, I'm just going to add that to the chart. Okay. So ZRX, all right, 26% change in volume. Kyber, all right. Bakery Token, Sushi Swap, Maple, Theta Network. These are all coins that are killing it today in principle. All right. Let's have a look at ZRX. Where are we at? Here we go. What's ZRX doing? Look at that bad boy. Yeah? Remember, when the 50 gets towards the candlesticks, it's a bit of a problem. It implies that the momentum is kind of gone. All right? Now we've had a move to the downside. Something today about a listing in ZRX. There's been a listing for Zilliqa. Something has been kicking off with that today. Not today, but that's what the news motive has been as such. Okay? So it's a staking. Something about staking has happened with this coin. It's been listed somewhere. So this is probably the result of that. Now, a lot has been happening with a lot of DEX platform coins. Okay? So just keep an eye out on that. Luna. Let's have a look at Luna. Luna's come back into the zones, ladies and gentlemen. Straight towards this wick right here. Trades so much better than Bitcoin. We're still in structures, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thing. We are still in structures. But you've got to remember as well, Luna, man, when Luna moves, it really moves as well. And looking at the liquidity in this zone, this would probably be a point in the chart that Luna could end up at. Okay? So just keep an eye out on tonight's ranges. I will stress tonight, if you are going to trade, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you wait for the Tokyo Open, okay, which is in an hour and a half, okay, an hour and 20 minutes as such. Then the Hong Kong session will come afterwards, all right? So just keep an eye out. Only trade the opens. Don't trade now. It's the dead gap time. All the markets have closed. Sydney has just opened. Sydney doesn't really bring that much liquidity, but it brings volatility. And you don't want to get caught out in certain coins that could throw you out of your trades. Okay? Okay, Victoria, is there something like a trading almanac? I can see the cycles across everything, but wonder if there is like a crypto almanac, the cycles of types of coins to forecast. All right, listen, there is no such thing as a trading almanac, okay? Because you're then saying that you know what's going to happen next, because you know what's going on here. None of you would be in any stream. You would not even go on YouTube. You wouldn't even buy a book if you knew what was going to happen next. I can't give you one fixed bias. Because if I say Bitcoin can go up, the next person will say it can go down. Who's right? Who's wrong? Bitcoin goes up and then it goes down. Who's right? Who's wrong? Did Bitcoin go up? Yeah, it did. How long did it go up for? Well, it went up by 10 cents. Okay. So I said it would go up, yeah? Yeah, it went up. Okay, cool. It didn't go up much, but I said it would go up. Okay. But you said it would go down. How much did it go down by? 3 cents. Oh, well, you know, who's right? Who's wrong? Do you see what I'm saying? The only time you'll know if a trade's going to work is how much money you commit to it. If you understand what trading is about, you're going to take away a lot of pressure from your trading by trying to predict what's going to happen next. Because in our minds, we need structure. We want guarantees. Monkey brain kicking in. We want safety. Okay? We say we see a pattern like this. We want to see that pattern for sure. If we see a W formation, we want to see a dictionary W appearing in the chart. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that ain't going to happen. And I'm going to tell it to you straight. There's no guarantees in this game. I will try and scare you off the idea of trading as opposed to encourage you to trade. Because trading requires commitment. It's about training the eyes. Because these patterns happen over and over and over again. Some of you might think, man, Tina, you talk the same thing over and over again. Well, guess what? Until they change their business, I will keep talking about the way they operate. Because they ain't changing, because you guys aren't changing. Why? Because people will still buy at the highs and people will still buy at the lows. I'm not making reference to you guys. I'm talking about retail traders. The guys who unfortunately have this, what the hell is this? Guys who have unfortunately gone long or short in this area here. They've opened shorts. $70 million worth of shorts have been opened in this zone. We naturally can assume that Bitcoin is going to try and snap back up again. What's the story? There you go. Crawling, slowly coming up. People are rushing to the charts. Quickly go short, go short, go short. Bitcoin crash, 20k in sight. We've had a deviation away from the 50 EMA. There's a simple strategy for you, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And I'll provide this for you free of charge. Here we go. Deviations against the 50. That's all you got to do. Wait until you see an aggressive movement away from the 50 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. Wait to see if you have vector candles in the zone. Wait until the 5 and the 13 EMA come together. and then start to form contraction. And then upon the first success of a vector candle that appears above those sort of numbers, above the 5 and the 13 EMA, take your trade. There's obviously another strategy. You can take the first vector candle that appears above the 50 EMA. But you have to wait for volatility, ladies and gentlemen. This is volatility. Sharp move down. Breaks in the norm. All right? I hope that serves, ladies and gentlemen. Are we all on the same page here? Are we all on the same page? Why is everything such a big deal for you? That makes me laugh. I hope that was for me. All right, let's have a look at something else. Excuse me. All right then, let's look at my altcoins. Which altcoins have been pulling the numbers today? Here we go. So there it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Theta token. Wink. Ah, what is that doing right now? Zcash. Graft. Okay, so let's have a look at Theta. Coming up. Man, they've been chilling in this $3 zone, man. They love this zone. Here is an example. Look. This is a beautiful example, ladies and gentlemen. Right? 5 and 13 EMA starting to come in together. Okay? You've got one vector candle right here. You could have been bold enough to take the trade from there if you were brave enough, because you had the confluence of the 200 EMA as support. They've made their way back into the moving average. Does that mean it's going to continue? That's a different story. I don't know how much money you want to make. I don't know how much profit is profit to you. So when someone says Bitcoin up or down, all right, Bitcoin up or down in the next hour, 2, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, scalpers, seconds, which one do you want? You know, it's hard, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up onto these streams, people have an expectation. You know, they want to know where price is going to go. All right? Whoever is on YouTube or anyone, if they're trying to show you something, try and take in exactly what it is they're trying to say. Okay? I'm trying to show you the hybrid system. This is taking concepts from Forex into cryptocurrency and applying the same principles. And guys have been with me for a long time. Mad love to my day ones, pattern watchers from day one. I got nothing but love and respect for all of you. Okay? It has been a pleasure serving you all. All right? I'm going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be checking in with you all tomorrow. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves, man. Peace.